Hi everyone, this is Sarah from the South Dakota Agricultural Heritage Museum coming to you again with another Thinking Thursday. Today we are going to be talking about soil profiles and we're going to be making our own edible soil profiles. So what soil profiles are is they are what soil scientists use to talk about the different layers of soil that we have out in the world. Now, a soil profile can vary from place to place depending on where you're at and what your soil is made up of. But today we're going to discuss some basic layers in terms that anybody can understand, food, so that you can not only talk and learn about soil profiles, but you can also have a tasty snack at the end. So we're going to go ahead and get started with our list of ingredients here, and then we'll start with directions. So what you'll need for materials and ingredients today are a clear cup. Today I'm just using a glass cup that I have here at home, but you can also use plastic as well. The main thing that you want to make sure though is that it's clear because you want to be able to see the different layers as we're building it up. The next thing that you'll need are some sandwich cookies. And so you'll need a few different things with sandwich cookies. You're going to need a whole sandwich cookie like this. And then you're also going to need some crushed sandwich cookies, which I have here in the bowl. And so you'll need one whole and some crushed ones for every one you're going to make. After that, you are also going to need some white chocolate or vanilla pudding. And this is just what I have at home here in a cup. Next, you'll need some chocolate pudding. Again, just what I have at home here. After that, you will need some sprinkles. Today I'm using green sprinkles because, and we'll get to this later in the presentation too, but our sprinkles are going to represent our grass that's growing on top of our soil or plants that are growing. And so I have green today, but you can really do any color that you want to because we have flowers and plants and things that are in a bunch of different colors. So anything works. You'll also have some gummy worms. So I have 3 here on a plate. You'll need a spoon to eat with when you're done. And it's always nice just to have a few paper towels handy in case of some spills. So that is what you'll need. Go ahead and get started. And so let's dive right in. So after you have all of your materials here and ready to go, we're going to go ahead and start making our layers. So we're going to start with our clear plastic or glass cup, and I'm going to put that right here. After that, we're going to start layering our different layers of our soil profile into our glass. Now, soil scientists also use the word horizon to describe the different levels and layers of soil when you look at what's outside. And so today I'm going to talk you through each layer or horizon as we work from bottom to top so that you can know what that layer is and what we use it for and what it's made out of. So our first layer, our first 2 layers actually are going to be our cookies here. So we're going to start with our whole cookie and we're going to place that right at the bottom of our glass. And that is actually what we are going to be using as our bedrock layer. And so this is the layer that is found way deep down underneath some soils, but it also, depending on what area of the world you're in, there might not be anything left on top of that bedrock layer, and it might just be rock out in the environment. And so the bedrock is what's found at the bottom, and so we've got our cookie right here. After that, the next layer up, or horizon, is our sea horizon, or what we call parent material. And so our bedrock layer is made up of one really big giant rock. The next layer, or our parent material layer, is made up of rocks that have been broken up already. So we're using our crushed pieces of cookies here and making a layer here on top. So we've got our 2 layers here. I'm going to wipe my fingers on our paper towels so you can see we have our crushed cookie layer on top of our bottom cookie down here. So we've got our 2 rock layers, our bedrock or solid layer and our sea horizon or parent material layer. The next thing that we're going to have is our B horizon or subsoil. Now this is the layer of soil that is found underneath what we can usually see outside in the soil, which is why it's called subsoil. It's underneath. We're using vanilla pudding today, so I'm going to go ahead and take my spoon and put a layer of that in here. Just so that we've got a nice even layer across the whole thing. You can use your spoon to move that around and make sure we get an even coating. Okay, and there we go. So we have our vanilla pudding or our B horizon layer. This layer, like I said, is soil and it's below our top layer of soil. And the reason why it's below our top layer of soil and it's light, so we're using the vanilla pudding today, is because there's not any organic matter or living material in that layer. So yeah, it is soil and it might look like soil when you get down to that layer, but there's not anything in that layer that will allow plants to grow. So it's basically just your regular old soil, but it's not very healthy. And so we've got that layer right here. The next layer we have is our chocolate pudding. And so I'm going to go ahead and start adding that in. I'm going to wipe our spoon off here. And then start adding this in. So again, just a nice even layer across the top. Okay. So now you can see that I have above my B horizon layer is my A horizon or my topsoil layer, which is our chocolate pudding. You can see that this layer is a lot darker than our B horizon because this layer does have that really important organic material in it. That organic material allows plants to grow and it gives the roots that are in that layer of soil all the nutrients and materials that they need so that they can survive and grow really strong and healthy plants. So you will notice that if you went outside and dug a hole in your yard, which I don't recommend unless you need to, so ask your parents first, but if you go ahead and dig that layer of soil out in your backyard, you will notice that that top layer is darker than the soil when you get lower and deeper down into the ground. So that's why we're using chocolate and vanilla today. So now we have those two layers done. Our next layer is actually our O horizon, or what we call organic ground cover. And for today, we're using these green sprinkles. So I'm going to go ahead and add some of those in. So now you can see I've got a nice green layer on the top of my topsoil. And this is, again, organic matter. So things that are growing up out of the soil. So it could be grass, it could be some leaves that have fallen off of a tree and they're down on that layer and they might be decomposing to help the soil make different things and keep that organic matter nice and rich. But today, like I said, we're using green for grass. And so we've got that O horizon or organic ground cover there and ready to go. In those top layers of soil and on the top with the organic matter, so in the A horizon and O horizon, we also have a lot of different living organisms like worms or fungi or different bacteria that live within that layer that help decompose the things that are dead and old to provide more nutrients for the soil and to tunnel, the earthworms can tunnel through the soil to help water penetrate deeper into the soil. So we're going to add a few earthworms or gummy worms on the top of our soil profile today so that you can see those working in and around the different layers of our soil. And there you have it. We have our edible soil profile with all of our different layers. And so from top to bottom, again, we have those earthworms that are helping decompose some of those decaying things and tunnel through to make way for new water to penetrate to the roots. We have our green sprinkles that are that all-horizon organic ground cover. We have our chocolate pudding, which is our A-horizon or topsoil with all that rich organic matter. We have our B-horizon or our subsoil with that vanilla pudding so that you can see what that layer of soil is lighter without that organic material. We have our C-horizon or parent material with our crushed up sandwich cookies. And then we have our bedrock or our whole sandwich cookie at the bottom. That's just a layer of rock. So here is your full edible soil profile, which you can now eat after you've gotten all the layers in. Once you have all those layers in, you can also, I've listed some discussion questions on our website that talk about naming the different layers of a soil profile and talking about why the A horizon is darker than the B horizon, or what layer of the soil is most important to keep us alive. And so while your kiddos are eating these fun treats, you can go ahead and talk about some of these discussion questions just to check for understanding and make sure that they got all the information out of this that they needed to learn. So again, my name is Sarah, and we are so excited that you were able to join us for another edition of Thinking Thursday. If you have any questions, feel free to shoot me an email and I'll get back to you right away. Otherwise, this is another Thinking Thursday from the South Dakota Agricultural Heritage Museum, and we hope to see you next week. Bye!